Good morning, everyone. This is Bremster, and today I'm coming to you with a puzzle by James Kopp called Tuplets. This is a puzzle that James submitted using my submission guidelines, so thank you for sending that in. My submission guidelines are always linked to below. Just email with some details. All the details I need are listed in my submission guidelines. I've said that a lot. So yeah, please have a look if you've got a puzzle that you would like to submit. If there's a puzzle that you have solved that you didn't create that you would like to recommend, you can also follow my submission guidelines. If it's from a setter I've covered before, odds are I've got permission to do their puzzles and you could recommend a puzzle that I may not have seen. Or if it's from a new setter, it's probably better to reach out to them and suggest they submit it themselves, but you can also recommend it and I can try and chase them up, though I've spent a lot of time in the last couple of weeks chasing up new setters and not getting responses. So yeah, it might be just an idea to send them a message and say maybe you want to submit this. Going on, we're still working on Cagey Constraints. Yeah, I won't go into that just now because you'll know when I know. Let's have a look at the puzzle. Tuplets by James Kopp. So, fairly simple rule set on this one. Normal Sudoku rules apply. In every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. And then we've got these ratio lines, is what I'm calling them. The way James has submitted them is basically adjacent digits along lines are either in a ratio of 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. And what that means is if we pick, say, this digit, this will either be double or triple or these digits will either be doubles or triples or whatever. Ratio of 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. This will either be a double. How do I phrase this? Yeah, one of these digits is going to be double or triple the other, I think is the way to phrase that. And this is true along all of these lines, which seems very weird. So yeah, and I suppose that's the point. It's very weird, and that's the constraint. Let's give this a shot. So, I think these are important because what digits can't be doubled or tripled? One can go with 2 or 3. Actually, I'm going to note this down. One can go with 2 or 3. 2... Actually, 5 can't go... 5 and 7. Half of 5 is not valid. Double 5 is not valid. Half of 7 is not. Double 7 is not. Third of 5 is not. Triple 5. 5 and 7 can't be. 1 can, 2 can, 3 can, 4 can, 6 can, 8 can, and 9 can. So 5 and 7 can never go on a line. So 5 has to be in here. This is a 5-7 pair. So that 5 makes that a 7 and that a 5. 5 can't go in those, so 5 is in here, so that's a 5. 7 is not there, so that's a 7. That's a 5, so that's a 5. 5 is right. No, wait, I've got 5 in that box, so don't be dumb. Given digits, they're invisible. 5 is there. But 5 is in here, so that's not 5, and that is 5. Actually, that's a 5-7 pair. So this is 7, which puts 7 up here. 7 is in one of those two. 5 is there, so this is the 7 and this is the 5. So am I going to get all of the 5s and 7s? I'm not sure. 7 is in one of those 3, which lines up with that, which makes that the 7. That's not the 5, so this is the 5, this is the 7, this is not the 7. I've got all the 5s and I've got 7s into an X-wing. How am I going to resolve those? It's going to have something to do with the lines. But I was able to get all of those because they could not go on lines. I think that has to be correct. So the question now is the other digits. So 1, if you can't divide 1 by anything. So 1 has to go with 2 or 3. 2 can be divided by 2 to go with 1, doubled to go with 4, or tripled to go with 6. 3 can be divided by 3 to go with 1, can't be divided by 2. Multiply by 2 to go with 6, or multiply by 3 to go with 9. Actually, I am going to... Okay, 4 can be divided by 2 to go with 2. Can't be divided by 3, can't be multiplied by 3, but it can be multiplied by 2 to go with 8. 5 we know isn't on the list. 6 can be divided by 2 to go with 3. Divided by 3 to go with 2. Can't be multiplied by anything. 8 you can never multiply, so it's divide. Divide by 3 doesn't work, so it's divided by 2 to go with 4. And 9 is divide by 2 doesn't work, multiply won't work, so it has to be divide by 3 to go with 3. Okay, so my question now is not that one, but those digits, because those digits see 3 other digits. So the only digits that could go with 3 other digits are 2 and 3, because 2 could go with 1, 4, and 6, and 3 could go with 1, 6, and 9. So these are 2 or 3. And if these are 2 and 3, then the only thing that can go with 2 is 1, 4, 6, and the only go with 3 is 1, 6, or 9. So these are 1, 4, 6, and 9. So what? Oh! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 has to go over here, but 8 can only go with one digit, which was 4, because 8 multiplied by anything doesn't work. 8 divided by 3 is not an integer, so 8 can only go with 4. If I put 8 here, both of those are 4. If I put 8 here, both of those are 4. So those aren't the 8. That is the 8. That is the 4. Those aren't 4. That's not 4. So 4 now can go with only 2 or 8. So that becomes the 2, which means this is the 3, and 3 was 1, 6, and 9, so that's not the 4. So these are 1, 6, and 9. So these are 2, 4, no, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 4, and 8. But 8 can't go in here because 8 can only go next to 4. So this has to be the 8. This has to be the 4. So this is the 2. 2 can't go next to 9. That puts 2... Well, this 2 makes this 3. And 3 we know goes next to 1, 6, and 9. So there's no 4 there. This has to be the 2 by Sudoku. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4... and 8, which I could have got by Sudoku. This is weird, but very cool. 2 can go with 1, 6. Okay, so 2 goes next to 1, 4, or 6. So this is 1 or 6. In fact, this is 1, 6, or 9 over here by the row. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So 2 goes next to 1 or 6. 1 can only go next to 2 or 3. And 6 can only go next to 2 or... this is 3 no matter what. Because if this is 6, it has to go next to 3. And if it's 1, it has to go next to 3 because 2 is not available. And 3 is 1, 6, or 9. So yeah, this is 1, 6, 9, which completes what's in the box. Oh, this is invisible given digits. That's a 6, 9 pair now. This is not a 1 either, but 3 can go with 6 or 9. Times 2 or times 3. 1 is up here now, so that's not a 1. Bet you there's something completely obvious I am missing. This is a triple. 4, 8, and 9. Now, is that going to be a problem here? Because this has to... Well, this has to be in a ratio with that. Is not... 9 isn't in a ratio with either 4 or 8. So if that was a 9, there's no 9 in here. So this is the 9. 4 and 8 are in a ratio with each other, but that works. So this is a 4, 8. But if this is 8, both of those would have to be 4. That's not going to work. This is the 4, this is the 8. 4 is in a relationship with only 2 and 8. So this is a 2. And 4 is only in a relationship with 2 and 8. So this has to be an 8. 2 is in a relationship with 1, 4, and 6. So this is 1 or 6. And this is the same thing. 1 can only be in a relationship with 2 or 3. 6 can only be in a relationship with 2 or 3. So whichever way you go, this is a 3. It's this repeating 2, 1, 6, 3 pattern. And that puts 3 up here. This is absolute. And of course, we're back to 1, 6, and 9. And that gives us a 1, 6, 9 triple. 1 has to be down here, so this is the 6, this is the 9, this is the 6. There's no 6 in here, and this becomes a 1, 9 pair. That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. The position of these lines, so well done. That makes this 9, takes 9 out of there, puts 9 into there. There's no 9 in there. This is a 1, 6. And 1 and 6 can only go next to 2 or 3, and that can't be a 2, so that is a 3. 3 can only go next to 1, 6, or 9, so this is 1, 6, 9, and it can't be 6 or 9, so this is a 1. 1 can only go next to 2 or 3, and it can't be a 3, so that is a 2. These are 4, 6, and 9, and there's no 9 in those, so that is a 9. The 4 here makes this a 6 and this a 4. This is now a 1 or a 9 by row logic. This is a triple by column logic, 2, 3, and 4. And this is what's left by box logic or column logic, 1, 7, and 8. And that can't be 7. Now, this has to be incredibly important, but let's start with that digit, which is a 2. And 2 can only go next to 1, 4, and 6. Well, that can't be 4. And 1 and 6 can only go next to 3. So if this was 1 or 6, this would have to be a 3. So this has to be the 4, which has to go next to an 8. And is that correct? Yeah, 4 can only go next to 8. This is a 1, 6 pair, so this has to be the 9. This is not 3 anymore. This is not 2 or 4, so this is the 3, which puts 3 in one of those two. This is so smooth. This is a 1 or a 6. Let's look at this triple. 2, 3, 4. So that's a 4. Maybe that wasn't the place to look. Okay, let's look at this triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. 1, 6, and 8. Well, there's no 8 there. There's no 6 there. I see. I did see the given digit. So 1 can only go next to 2 or 3, and 3, it can't be a 3. So this is the 2. This is the 4. This is the 2. This is not a 1 or an 8, so this is the 7. So this is now known to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is the 7. Now 2 can't go next to 3. 2 can only go next to 1, 4, or 6. So this is 1 or 6. So it's not 3, this is 3. But if this was... No, that's not correct. It's 1, 4, or 6. Let me roll that back to make sure. So 2 can go next to... Well, I can't use 1. It's 4 or 6. Because 2 divided by 2, I can't divide it by 3. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. 2 multiplied by 3 is 6. So it's 1, 4, or 6, and it can't be 1. So this is 4 or 6. Either way, it is not 3, and this is the 3. So these are 4, 6, and 8. I can't put 4 there. That's a 6, 8 pair in the box. So that becomes a 4. 4 can't go next to 6. So this is the 8. This is the 6. That makes this the 1 and this the 6. The 4 makes that 8 and that 4. The 2 looks down, making that 3 and 2. The 9 looks down, making this 1, which goes over, making this 9 and 1. This 8 makes this 1 and 8. The 1 looks over, making this 6 and this 1. The 1 looks down, making this 6 and this 1. And now I'm down to a single box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. And that was ridiculously short, but still an incredibly cool puzzle. I suppose if you think about it as the concept of when you look at black Kropke dots with the 1-to-2 ratio, they are the most restrictive form of Kropke dots. And when you get a run of them, they're incredibly restrictive. And this was just a long runs of ratios. But yeah, that's a very, very cool concept. And the way, I really loved the way, I can't even remember exactly what it was, but the way, I think it was these, something to do with the 6s down here bounced off each other and forced all this to be resolved. That was very cool. That was a really nice puzzle. Thank you, James, for sending that one through. I really like your puzzles. They come through and they're always something a little bit different, but still have a really nice flow to them. Yeah, very, very cool. Thank you very much for sending that one through. I hope you're enjoying the puzzles. I hope you're looking forward to Cagey Constraints. And as always, good luck with your solving.